Months ago, when COVID restrictions started, many of us kept ourselves distracted with tasks around the house to combat the many stages of isolation. From baking to DIY haircuts or live streaming from the loo, we were doing whatever we could to keep our spirits up at a time where we had no idea what the next day would bring. And while it looked like things were on the up and up, with many people starting to relax their habits, the start of July hit us hard, reminding us all that we're still in a global pandemic, with parts of Victoria locking down even tighter this week. Some of us have realised that that feeling in the back of our minds we thought were gone is still there, and we don't know how to deal with it. Luckily, Victoria's LGBTI+ support organisations are no strangers to responding to the needs of our communities when times get tough, and they've kicked into high gear. During the COVID pandemic, Thorn Harbour Health's Rainbow Connections has expanded to support any LGBTI individual who is isolated or impacted by COVID, which, let's face it, is all of us.
So when we established in 1983, we set up volunteer programs that supported people in their homes. And at the time, we were supporting people dying of AIDS. And then over time, the community support program still exists, but it's now become a service that supports people in a range of different areas. And Rainbow Connections is an expansion of that, where we're helping any LGBTI people who are feeling isolated in their homes, and particularly today, given that we've got suburbs back in lockdown. So it's an opportunity for people to get daily contact. If they need support with meals or financial issues or housing issues, they can contact us. If they just want someone to talk to stay connected to the world, there's a lot of people out there who are fearful about leaving home at the moment because of whatever reason, either they're elderly or they might have diabetes or some other issue that puts them at risk of COVID. At the moment, we're handing out 100 meals a week. We expect that'll probably go up. We've had a couple of calls in the last 24 hours from people who've learned they're going into lockdown very suddenly, who've said they're going to need some help to do that. So Rainbow Connections has essentially been established to support those people who need that bit of extra help at this time.
Support comes in many different forms and can be difficult to ask for.
When COVID started, before JobKeeper and the other JobSaver came out, it hit a lot of people very, very hard. So there were people who've never been unemployed, who were suddenly unemployed, who didn't know how they were going to make ends meet, who were reaching out suddenly for the first time ever. They've never actually had to contact a service and ask for help before. They didn't know what help was out there and was available to them. When the government put JobKeeper in place, that has changed a bit. But who knows, with Qantas, 6,000 redundancies, we may suddenly see a whole bunch more people who are needing help for the first time, and particularly for people who feel that they're at risk of COVID. For a lot of those people as well, this will be the first time they've ever had to ask for help. They've been completely self-sufficient. They've got on with their lives. They've never had to really think about the services that might be offered.
Look, I'm one of those people who struggles to ask for help, and our communities were at high-risk categories before COVID hit, which is why it's important that you know what's out there when you need it.
We probably have seen more requests for housing and support around crisis accommodation and housing, and particularly from the trans community. A lot of those people were trans, probably a higher number than would normally come through our services. Alcohol and drug programs, while bars are closed, people are probably doing less binge drinking on a Saturday night, but we know that across the board, everyone's generally drinking a bit more. There's a lot of people who were not daily drinkers who become daily drinkers. So it's a bit of a shift there in behaviour, and we don't know what that's going to mean in the long term. Certainly family violence as well, where we're hearing more about being stuck in a house with someone that we don't get along with particularly well, is exacerbating things for people, and people are needing to get out of the house and get space. And so we run a range of family violence programs, and they've all been very busy.
Our community orgs are there for a reason, run by community for the community, and the difference reaching out can make to our mental and physical well-being is huge.
It can be a very hard thing for people to pick up the phone. Often people don't know what services are available and they don't know what to ask for. So we would say, if you need help, call. We can help you figure out what's available. We can help you figure out exactly what issues are going on for you. And it's not just us. We've got Switchboard as well, who provide referral over to the range of services available. We've got Drummond Street and Queer Space doing other work as well. There's a range of services available to the community, and also volunteering. We've increased the number of volunteers during this time. Rainbow Connections has run on volunteering, so even though there's some volunteering opportunities which have decreased, others have increased as well. And volunteering is a very important part of our community, because it's the way that we engage with, a lot of people engage with community. If you're not interested in bars, there's very few other ways to get involved in the community, and volunteering is an important one, particularly for people coming out.
Whether you're in a hotspot or not, COVID affects all of us, which is why it's important that you know about the support services that are out there should you need it. Don't forget to keep washing your hands and keep 1.5 metres away from each other. And most importantly, it's okay to not be okay. None of us are. This is a pandemic, but it's not okay to not reach out and ask for support because it's there for you. Has anyone got a towel?
If you need help, call us. You know, we might not be able to help with everything, but we can probably find someone who can.